put them on windows of businesses without asking. Ripley and I are out hanging flyers for upcoming show. This is a show that I produce. It's a monthly country music show at the Golden Pony. It's called Honky Tonk Nights.
This is the fly.
My name is Rebecca Porter. I am a country singer, songwriter, musician, and producer in Harrisonburg, Virginia. A voice so familiar with a face unknown and a sound.
There's one up there.
Hold on, buddy. I'm just trying to pull this one out so I can put mine behind it. I was born in Guam, and I was raised here in the Shenandoah Valley.
You were born in Guam?
I was. My father is from Guam. My mom's from Virginia. I look very much like my father, and so growing up, when my parents separated as a young child, that separation really affected me because there was no one else around that looked like me. So, yeah. It's a huge part of my identity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go!
We can't go, the light's red. This is Ripley. This is my son. He is 4 years old. And we like to say that he is supercharged sunshine, sometimes supercharged radioactive sunshine. I love how much energy he has. I'm very envious. I wish that I had the same amount of energy that he has. He is always very happy-go-lucky, which for him has been like a little bit of a blessing and a curse. He calls this bridge over here the Stinky Bridge because Black Run usually stinks.
See the stinky water?
It's also interesting how your child is like a mirror of you. He feels his feels. And so we're trying to embrace that and help him with verbalizing, because that, growing up ourselves, we each grew up in environments that were like, suppress your feelings, don't talk about your feelings. And so as adults, we still find ourselves like working on communication. I see. He's special in a lot of ways. We've really started bonding over music lately, and that's cool. Him enjoying my music, and then when I'm playing or practicing or writing, him kind of coming in and like getting involved or like wanting to be part of me making videos for content. Try Everything is his favorite song right now from Zootopia, which sometimes I get a little emotional because Ripley is neurodivergent, and we're still in the process of figuring out exactly like what his needs are. But as a mom of a child who has like struggled with school and struggled with like social interactions and normalcy, it's like beautiful to hear your child singing a song about try everything and embracing making mistakes and what it means to like get back up from those mistakes. So, what's your favorite song of Mommy's?
Honky Tonk Heroes.
Honky Tonk Sing for Heroes.
Can y'all sing a little of that for us?
Ready? Get ready.
Honky Tonk.
Sing for heroes, there for the lonely, one chance to let go, one chance to get by. Honky Tonk sing for heroes, 'cause they never die. That's right. Good job.
Hey, Ripley, come on.
That's like a that's like my brain like doing something. Who wants cake? I know with every bone in my body that I was meant to be a mom. I was definitely meant to be a parent. And I also know that I was meant to do music, and it is a challenge. I've been told a time or two that I need to do less, which can be hard for me to do. My schedule looks a little ridiculous, but it certainly helps us stay in tune with what's going on for that day, what's going on for the month, when are we going to be traveling, when am I going to be on tour. And also, I'm getting better about scheduling myself some downtime and like prioritizing mental health. Therapy is helpful. I'm a big advocate for therapy. And communication is key, especially with a partner. He has a very busy and demanding schedule as well. So we remain very vocal about what the other person is doing. Do you need peaches? Do you need peaches? You want your dad? Well, if you stand up, I'll pick you up and I'll take you to dad. You want to go out with dad? Help him bring groceries in?
Come on.
Thank you for using your words to tell me.
Go grab her the box of Flushables.
You were telling me that you're a little shy right now. When I was 18, I was dating a guy who wanted to get tattooed. And Porter was like a really reputable tattooer in town. So he went to him and I like went with him. And then we ended up breaking up at some point and I wanted to get tattooed. And so Porter was the only person that I knew. And I went and got tattooed by him and I had a really good experience. I really liked my tattoo. And so every year I would treat myself on my birthday and get tattooed. And so we knew each other for almost 8 years before we started dating. So we had been friends for a while, which is kind of cool. Like, I was raised independent fundamental Baptist, and so like getting tattooed was very taboo. But I'd always loved the idea of having art on your body and being able to say things like through your tattoos or just like have beautiful images on you, even if they don't have any like deep additional meaning. And so yeah, I definitely had pushback, and in the beginning I would always get things that I could cover up easily, and then when I started getting tattoos that were more visible, like my mom would just like, oh, okay, she's getting another tattoo, you know, like typical mom stuff. And then I think when I got my back, I started getting my back done, she was like, will there ever be an end? Will you ever stop? I was like, probably not. I mean, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get my throat tattooed, but one of my really good friends just got her throat tattooed, and it's like, okay, I'm probably gonna get my throat tattooed. So, and they also, I mean, my husband is a tattooer by trade, so it's like, to think that tattooing is not gonna be a part of my life and who I am is a foolish thought, so thankfully they have accepted it. I grew up listening to Dolly Parton, and I don't know, you know, she's human, so she's not perfect, but I've always drawn a lot of inspiration from her. She's an amazing songwriter. If you listen to like her catalog of music, especially like early on, my mom would like listen. My mom had tapes of her, and I would listen to them all the time and like sing songs about love and heartbreak. That were like far beyond my years, but I just loved her voice, and just even like listening to her voice just feels like home. You know, it's like very comforting.
It goes like this. Said it must be the season, must be the season, must be the season. Yeah. Said it must be the season, must be the season, must be the season. Said it must be the season, must be the season, must be the season. One more time. Said it must be the season, must be the season, must be the season. Oh no.
am just going to. I'm just going to be doing original songs tonight. And I love putting this together to just bring like a different perspective to the spooky shows, because there's a lot of rock shows that happen over Halloween. And I really enjoy being like an audience person for this show. So it's cool to put the lineup together and get all my friends to come out and play. I have dealt with depression and anxiety my entire adult life, or at least that's when it was diagnosed. And I started struggling when I was in college, and I didn't know what was happening to me or why I was doing the things I was doing, like why I couldn't get out of bed in the morning, why I couldn't go to class, and I certainly didn't know how to ask for help. And so the Lonely Song came during a time where I was a parent already, at least a 6-month-old when the pandemic started. And I was here alone by myself a lot and worrying about the world and what was going to happen to all of us, but also what was happening to me, dealing with postpartum, baby blues. And that day in particular, I remember like this whole wall is basically windows. And so he was on the floor playing and I was sitting with my back up against the window. And I was just like watching him and in my head thinking, how am I gonna do this? How are we gonna get through this time? How am I gonna get through this time? He is this beautiful child and has no idea the dark and terrible things that I'm feeling, and I'm not sure how we're gonna make it through this time, whether that is the next few minutes or hours or weeks. How do I talk to anybody else about this? And as I was physically sitting up against the sunny glass windows, which, the sun and the warmth you think feels good, all I could see were like my shadows on the floor and on the wall. And I just started essentially like singing to myself, which is a part of my process, and thinking about the bouts of loneliness that I was going through as a new parent, experiencing a global pandemic, which was something I didn't know was going to be part of my story as a parent. But then also thinking about my mental health. I always fear of coming across not disingenuous, but hokey and not real. And this song especially, I think, is probably one of the realest songs that I have ever written. Not only writing the song was therapeutic, but also playing it out became therapeutic, and have made some really cool connections with other people through this song. Just like going through something and being able to connect with someone else and not even really know that you're connecting at the time that it's happening is kind of cool. It's taken me a really long time to be comfortable in my own skin and who I am as a person, and understand that that can change. It doesn't have to stay the same, and I don't need anyone else's permission to change. And yeah, I mean, I still have days where I'm very self-conscious, days where I second guess myself, days where I feel like I'm not doing a good job, whether it's with music or just as a human or being a parent or a mom.
advocating for Ripley with his needs in school. And I just have to remind myself that I am a good person. I am worthy of the good things that are happening to me and for me. I've worked my ass off for them. And even if I fall down or I go through a hard time, that doesn't mean that all of that falls by the wayside. And there's nowhere that I can't come back or grow from.